All right, my next guest is one of your favorites. And his most recent note, rather, is titled "Hype to Execution in the AI Arms Race." Let's bring in Belpointe, their chief strategist, rather, David Nelson. All right, David, so funny. I love that title because I was just having this conversation with Mark. Some of these names in this last earnings period had what looked on the surface to be phenomenal earnings results, right? Particularly Broadcom, for instance. Did everything right. The stock was under pressure every day. Meta, I don't know, maybe you can quibble that Zuckerberg is too myopic when it comes to these money-losing ventures, but still, otherwise, it was another great session. So are we in that kind of period where these names are priced for perfection?
We're in the top decile right now, so there's zero room for error. You've really got to deliver. And we're entering an earnings period, which is going to start in the next few weeks, and every CEO is going to be talking about their AI policy, how that's working out, and you're going to hear a lot of stuff that's very, very positive. And I think investors are going to be very, very quick to the trigger. They're going to sniff out the pretenders and identify who's really delivering ROI, and anybody else is going to be, thrown to the woodshed.
We see in this last quarter, companies that mention AI, their stocks reacted better than companies that didn't mention it. So the AI trade is broadening out. And you've got some stocks that you like that may not necessarily be considered AI stocks, like Cummins Engine, for instance.
Yeah, Cummins, it's an online diesel company. They manufacture diesels for trucks. That's probably at the bottom of its cycle. But, the bottleneck for AI isn't chips. It's power and energy. And our grid can't handle it. So if you're running an AI data center, you need some backup. And that's backup power. And that's where Cummins comes in. And you're getting this at a market multiple and probably a 6 PE discount to, say, a company like Caterpillar. So that's one in our portfolio. We like it a lot.
Yeah, Cat's done extraordinarily well. You like also Freeport-McMoRan, which has come on of late. It's come on of late.
It's up about 23% in the last month. So maybe wait. You're getting something of a pullback today with the other metals in here. But even here, this is a technology play as well. They're using AI to rejigger their mills in real time. They developed a new technology called leaching that extracts more copper out of the rocks, out of the waste rocks. That goes right to the bottom line. You can't have a data center without copper. So this is the new oil.
Are you surprised that it took copper so long to kind of get hot this year?
I was surprised because this is my third time in the name in the last couple of years, and I crashed and burned the first 2 times.
Don't worry, I'm right there with you, my man. I got an old position in it, coming back, baby, grinding back. One of the themes for today's show is chasing or bottom fishing. And you had an interesting comment. Most bottom fishing trades end in failure. We buy low and sell even lower. But if you really do the homework, when you get it right, they are home runs. Sometimes you have to swing for the fences. And so you've got a couple of stocks that you consider bottom fishing ideas right now, like Lululemon.
Yeah, that's pretty odd for me. But I am dragged there every weekend with my wife, so I know a lot about the store. This one, in some ways, is kind of an easy one because it's no longer a growth story. It's now a turnaround story, an activist play. The previous management hired 10,000 non-store employees. They extended the product cycle from 18 months to 24 months, and people got really angry about that. So the low-hanging fruit is they could simply just knock out a lot of the costs by getting.
Are you rooting for this guy Chip, the founder? I know he's taking on he wants to get some board seats, and I know he said some things that were off color, whatever. But he was the innovator. He was the driving force behind it. Would you like to see him get back involved?
I got to forgive him for whatever he said because he invented a real powerhouse of a company. Look, the customers are there. They just need a reason to buy, and those credit cards will start coming out again.
And VEEV.
This one's kind of a controversial one. This is a software name in the healthcare space. Most of their contracts are with the large pharma companies. They handle the data analytics and the regulatory process for a lot of these companies. But now they're at war with Salesforce. Salesforce used to handle their CRM inside their software. They're now kind of doing it themselves. So Salesforce has gone from partner to competitor. That has some investors concerned. But now you're on a multiple basis. You're on a 50% discount. I think a lot of that's priced in.
I've been in this stock, too, in the last 10 years. And, again, maybe I've made money 60% of the time. It's a tough one.
This is a tough one,
But if you're right, you're right. All right, 30 seconds. But before we go, the greatest risk you're saying to this in 2026 is China. In what way?
Well, China's a risk. They're an adversary in every sense of the word,
right.
Geopolitically, even militarily. Look, we're doing a lot to onshore mission-critical supply chains right now, but we're years away from that being a success. Most military advisors predict that China will do something by 2027 when it comes to Taiwan. What if it's sooner? What if it's sooner than that? They're already having live-fire drills right now as we speak off the coast of Taiwan. It would decimate our semiconductor industry. We'd have to do something about it. It would probably be militarily.
All right. Man, you kill it. The fans of the show love you. I appreciate you.
Thank you.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Thanks a lot.